When you think about robotics, well, you envision, say, manufacturing plants, right? And we always hear about robots taking over our future and our lives and our jobs. Well, when I saw this incredible video that was done by Steve Giralt, I just knew we needed to have him on the show, because what Steve is doing with robotics and photography is mind-blowing. It just is, Steve. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kim. Great to be here.
So what made you think of using robotics for still photography?
Well, basically, it came down to the fact that humans aren't that accurate. Robots are way better at repeating actions. And the timeline I work in is usually very, very short, as we're doing splashes and explosions and all sorts of things with fruit and food. So I only have like a half second for this whole thing to kind of take place. So robots are really good at making things happen right on time.
And so one of the robots I saw had a conveyor belt with ice cubes and was holding a glass, pouring coffee with the ice cube, tilting it down. Then it came down into like a white platform. How long did it take you to put that together?
We're pretty proud of that one. That was pretty much a day of getting all the timing right and kind of planning the whole shot out with me and everybody that works for me here in my studio. Yeah, the adding of the background that the cup landed on was really a nice touch to really finish off that shot, where it wasn't just pouring coffee and then milk and ice. It was also landing perfectly on a white surface. So it was definitely a challenge.
So how did you find the robotics to use? Where did you find them?
The internet is a great place. Basically, a few years ago, I started wanting to do this burger video. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
that's amazing. You know what? The burger video is the best. And I have to tell you, I've seen that burger commercial, and I always thought to myself, how the heck did they get everything? And I thought for a moment it was CGI.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people do, but that's the main reason I release a lot of my behind the scenes, so that people could know that this is actually being done by some crazy man for real, such as myself. But yeah, basically when I went to do that shot, I learned that there's no way a human could physically move the camera as fast and as accurately as I needed. So I kind of looked around and I found that there's actually just about 2 companies in the whole world that make robots specifically for moving cameras at high speed.
And so how much does a rig like that cost?
The big one that we put the camera on most of the time is actually right behind me, right there, is about $150,000.
Wow.
Not including the camera, that's just the robot.
Yeah, and then also, tell us about the lights.
Well, yeah, another challenge we had was the lighting that we need when we're shooting super high speed, which is slow motion when you play it back, is we needed a lot of light, because I don't know if people that use cameras know about shutter speed, but we're shooting at about 1/2000th of a second shutter speed. So that's a lot of light we need. So we hated what was available, which are these huge 10,000, 20,000 watt lights. So we started making our own LEDs that are super high power and fit in the size of like my hand, so that we could actually move them around with the robot and not get in the way of the robot as it's trying to move around and do cool camera angles. So we actually built this whole MOSFET-based power system to make our own lights and power them to be flicker-free.
That is truly amazing. So who are some of your clients?
I work a lot with coffee clients like Dunkin Donuts and Starbucks, or soda like Pepsi, or alcohol brands like Jack Daniels. And in the past, also food clients like Kraft or like Heinz and stuff like that. Yeah, lots of major brands. And
so now with the robotics, where do you think it's going to go next?
Oh man, I'm so excited. We're trying to get the robots to be a little smarter is kind of our goal. Traditionally speaking, they're kind of dumb robots right now. They tell, like we say, go really fast that way, and it hits a wall, it'll just do what we tell it. So we're working a lot on trying to work on what's called robot vision, where the robot could actually see what it's doing and actually act on, and kind of basically using AI, so that it gets a lot smarter, and then we could actually say, hey, instead of me telling you where to go, I want you to get that one thing and move it to a certain spot.
So I'm curious, because you're very technical, so this is so cool, because I get to ask you like these brainiac questions. What's powering the robot? What software are you using to power the robots?
Yeah, so the big robots are using this software called Flare. It's actually made by Mark Roberts Motion Control, which is the company that actually sold us the whole boat robot. It's really very featureful and very not so nice and easy to look at if you were just a regular person. It's a lot of numbers and stuff. So that's the software we use for the main robot, and we also use this software called Dragon Frame to run some of the other auxiliary motors and stepper motors and stuff like that.
That is so awesome. That is so incredible. So when you start talking about futures and the robots moving around and the AI, and do you think that you'll ever be replaced?
Nope, I don't think so. The hope is that, before anything else, before technology, before robots, I'm a storyteller and I'm a creative storyteller. And I think that's something a lot of people kind of get confused by because they see all the technical stuff, but they don't realize I'm only using it because I want to tell a particular type of story. So I think creativity is a hard thing to teach a robot.
Or artificial intelligence. I mean, you can only go so far. I mean, that's it. Steve, thanks so much for joining us and sharing your talents and your success with us. I mean, you're truly an inspiration where you started out as a photographer and now you're just like the photographer on steroids.
Thanks so much. It was really a pleasure to be here.
And you can learn more about Steve and follow him on Instagram. You can see the address right there on the screen. And if you ever see something really cool in technology, hey, you know what? Share it with me. Head over to komando.com, and at the bottom of every single page, there's a link that says, Contact us. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.